Hey YouTube, so I'm here today. I'm gonna start talking about more topics that I've been called to, that I've kind of been holding back on, certain things that I've applied in my life, and I've read quite a bit and listened to a bunch of audiobooks and podcasts, and when you're speaking from a place without applying something in your own life, people around you may not be as keen to listen. But when you start to be more of a scientist and start to actually apply the knowledge that you're learning, knowledge applied as power becomes wisdom. Otherwise, it's unused knowledge, right? So when I started to apply things in my own life, I started noticing a difference, and I'm going to start to talk more about those things that I've applied in my own life. Hopefully, it'll reach the right people that it needs to, and hopefully, it can help someone that is questioning or going back and forth, or yet to apply something that they've read in their own life. So, one of the things I've been wanting to talk about, and this is more for the males, is the retention of your seed, saving your seed, your sexual energy. In today's day and age, our testosterone has plummeted as men. Not speaking on anyone specific, I'm just talking about averages. And since our grandfather's generation, they say it's dropped almost 50%. And there's a lot of reasons that could be, phytoestrogens, a lot of soy, plastic, certain foods that we're eating, right? Everything has soy in it, glyphosate. But also notice that pornography is free, and that is something that is abundant in our society, and something that a lot of males start doing at a young age without realizing the actual loss of energy, or the loss of spiritual understanding and growth that can bring. So nothing in this life really is free. So why is it that they give us, HD, 4K pornography for free, and there's every taste and flavor? It's because they want that energy. The more that we use that energy in wasteful purposes, the less energy we have to create our own life, and to create a spiritual practice, to create the things that we want in this world, right? And so what I noticed is that when I stopped doing that and stopped looking at those images, that my mind cleaned. It's not a natural thing for our minds to wander like that and to lust. Lust is a very low vibrational emotion on the scale. It's one of the lowest, if not the lowest, even lower than fear. And it's a very carnal, animal-like emotion. And so when we can get rid of that lust, or limit that lust, by limiting our exposure to those kind of images and those kind of ideas, then we can start to use that energy for creative purposes, right? And like I said, our testosterone has gone so much lower. So there's lots of things that you can start to do, that you should start to do in your own practice, in your own life, to start to counteract that, and to start to balance out, to have a higher testosterone level, because that testosterone is what gives us that drive to be men, right? And that's why there's so many effeminate men nowadays. So in my own practice, there's lots of things that you can do. You don't want to take a foreign supplement to the body, because then your body's going to stop producing a hormone. So if you were to take testosterone, your body's going to be like, oh, I don't need to make it anymore because I'm getting it from this source. But if you start to take things that naturally boost your testosterone, then you're going to have a higher output of energy. You're going to have a higher output of testosterone. So the retention of the seed, they say after 1 week of semen retention, you're talking like a 40-50% increase in testosterone, which is huge, absolutely huge. And then you can start to implement things like Tongat Ali, Shilajit, ashwagandha, horny goatweed. I mean, there's tons and tons of herbs or natural ways to go about it that'll start to naturally higher your testosterone output. So you could just do a little research into those. But Tongod Alley is the number one. Shilajit's really good. Ashwagandha is super good. So if you start implementing those, you will definitely see a change in the output of your energy and your testosterone. Also, another huge one that you can start to do that's free, you don't even have to buy anything, is just ice packs on the nuts. I know it sounds funny, but 3 to 5 minutes of ice on the nuts will actually, again, boost your testosterone or sperm production by 30 to 50%, right? And so that's absolutely huge. When you're talking without having to spend a penny, you can just put some water in a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer, boom, you have an ice pack. So those are small things you can start to do to implement to see a difference in your energy levels. Yeah, and like I said, it's just it's something that we as men, so our creative essence, the best metaphor I've heard said about it is you're given this bag of seeds, right? And most people, instead of putting them in fertile soil, are just going around like, oh, here's some seed, here's some seed, here's some seed, and they're throwing it away. They're throwing away their life essence. The Taoists who talk about cultivating sexual energy and transmuting that sexual energy equate that 1 drop of semen is worth 100 drops of blood. They say there's about, on average, 5,000 outward ejaculations that we have before we die, before you physically just die. So by being more conscientious of when you spend that seed and what the purpose is for it, right? Again, you'll see a huge difference in your life. And it's helped my spiritual practice, it's helped my athletic ability, it's helped me become more centered and more balanced in this world. So I think it's a huge thing that we can start to implement, and not enough people really talk about it or even know about it, understand how powerful that energy is. So I've heard different numbers equated, but each cell has a potential kinetic output of 0.7 to 1 volt of energy. So when you ejaculate, 200 to 500 million cells come out. You could repopulate the whole United States with 1 ejaculation. That is a lot of potential energy that we're wasting, right? And that energy could be used for higher creative purposes. It could be used for spiritual practice. It could be used, again, to create art or to create whatever you want in this world. So just being more conscientious about how we spend that energy is absolutely huge, and it's been a huge boost to my life. And yeah, I can make more videos about this if anyone has any questions, but it's definitely something that I started implementing, and I've seen huge changes in my life, huge benefits, and it's absolutely a wonderful practice, and I would recommend to all the males, especially if you're young. The younger you start off, the better you're going to be. That's all I can say. That's my tidbit for the day.